What's the penalty for a false start in the NFL? Is it 5 yards lost? No, it's not loss of down, I don't think. You play it over.
5 yards, replay the down. 5 yards, replay the down.
One more Out of Here podcast. Technical issues are squared away, so here we go. And I
apologize, and I'll eat all of that.
Starting on a little bit of a downer today. But when we were kids, and this is what the kids of today, maybe they still make this toy, but I don't know that they do. Or if they do, it's probably on a video game or some bullshit like that. But when I was a kid, Rock'em Sock'em Robots was absolutely one of the greatest toys
it was
ever. The man that invented and created Rock'em Sock'em Robots, Burt Meyer, has passed away.
Oh, God love Burt.
He was born in 1926 in Hinsdale, Illinois. Went to the Institute of Design at the Illinois Institute of Technology and joined the Navy. He was in the Navy from 1944 to 46. He went to work for Marvin Glass and Associates, and that was a toy design company. And Rock'em Sock'em Robots was his first major success. Came out in 1964.
We used to do
1964.
The little bit that I was in college, but I hung out with a bunch of people that stayed in college. We used to do drinking games of that. It was an amazing drinking game.
Outstanding.
Amazing drinking game.
He also created Light Bright. Remember Light Bright?
I actually think I think I still have my Light Bright.
Do you really?
Yes.
I mean, that was high tech, man. When you were a kid, you put that piece of black paper in there and you poke one of those things through. Oh, it lights up. How cool is that?
I think I still have mine, actually.
He also designed the Mousetrap game.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that game?
My mom.
How cool is that?
My mom was too poor to buy that game for me. I had to play my friends, and it was missing pieces, so it never worked. It never worked the way it should have.
So God rest his soul, Burt Myers, creator of the Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Hey, let's have a drink to Burt Myers.
I'll toast to that, and we'll toast a little Trump whiskey right there.
Oh, Trump whiskey.
I know. We too bad we're not drinking bourbon right now like our buddy James McGee.
Well, you can always take a nip off that if you want.
Well, I mean, it's right out of the bottle.
Yeah, right out of the bottle.
That seems a little rude.
No, it's not. Trump would like it that way.
No, I put it. No, he wouldn't. I put it. I'm going to do it. If I drink it, I'm going to do it the right way.
I'm doing it correctly.
I'm going to put it in a highball glass. Maybe a little bit of ice in there. That's it.
So we are obviously, you see, we are missing one. He is heading to the airport to pick up his missus.
I wasn't going to say anything about that.
I was going to, because I was actually shocked that he still has a missus or ever had a missus. I thought he had a mister, but we've got a good stand-in who has a mister. I mean, actually, a very nice missus. Our friend James McGee.
James
in the house.
What's up, guys?
Did you have Rock'em Sock'em Robots when you were a kid?
Oh man, did I?
So one of the
probably
greatest
around the
toys
same age. I'm gonna be 55. I don't know how old you are, but I'm gonna be 55 in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, baby.
He's 105.
Yeah. Well, we definitely had that, and that is very sad. So my toast to the founder of that. We had some good times with Rock'em Sock'em Robot over here in Louisiana.
Absolutely,
great stuff.
So Burt
Myers,
where you want to start?
May he rest in peace. Well, I know I talked about this on my show today, and
by the way, I do want to give an accolade to you. I listened to a couple of your segments today, and having the mayoral candidate Corey Bowman.
Corey Bowman, yeah, great guy.
That segment, Corey obviously did not win the Cincinnati mayor race, but that was a very, very good segment. You asked a lot of great questions, and the way he answered them, I think, was absolutely fantastic.
Well, Corey Bowman he's a straight up guy. He's a small business owner, pastor of a small church. When he ran for ran for mayor, I thought he presented a lot of interesting and good ideas ideas that are very sound, things that to my way of thinking should happen in the city of Cincinnati. I think he obviously cares about the city, and he only needed 57% more of the vote, and he would have won.
He only needed that.
So he got blown out. We haven't had a Republican mayor in this town since 1971, for God's sake. So it's kind of ridiculous.
But to throw your hat in the ring and go through the abuse of doing it, I applaud him for it.
That's why I called him
Yeah.
I called him the man in the arena.
We need
And
to get him on here.
It was a huge uphill climb, but he he went for it anyway.
And he kept pushing all
There's
the
no
way up
shame
to
in
the end.
defeat.
He pushed to the end.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Let me ask you something on that, Dan. So the dynamics, I don't know the dynamics of Cincinnati except it's Democrat and
ultra liberal.
And I think that him not winning is probably a testament to him that he's a good guy, because they don't seem to vote for good guys over there. But let me ask you this. Can a Republican win any of the city council seats?
No.
Okay.
No, we have
So
9.
my point was going to be, if he could, my point was going to be, why wouldn't he run for city council where he could actually make a difference and do something? You're not going to win for mayor, but I also don't believe in giving people like Astab a free ride either.
No, we haven't had we haven't had a Republican mayor since 1971. City council has been all Democrat for the last, I want to say, 3 or 4 election cycles. A couple cycles ago, there was a one Republican, Liz Keating, who barely squeaked in. She ran again this year, finished 10th out of 9, so the top 9 vote getters get in. She was 10th. Another guy, Chris Smitherman, who's been a guest on this show.
Yeah, good guy.
Yeah, who's just fantastic. He finished 11th. I really thought Smitherman would get in because he's got great name recognition. But the thing is, and what the Democrats did when Bowman is the stepbrother of the vice president, J.D. Vance. Half brother, stepbrother, whatever. But he calls him his brother.
There's a difference. There's a difference.
Okay, I understand. But what they were doing,
my brother's a half brother.
They ran
a step.
Okay, my bad.
It's family.
My bad.
Fucker.
But the Democrats ran a campaign as well. This is Trump's way to get MAGA in Cincinnati. So it was a lot of scare tactics, as if somehow MAGA is bad for people.
Yeah.
And you've got a lot of hardcore liberal voters in the city of Cincinnati, and not just lower income voters. I mean, a lot of, and these are some of my family members. My family members, highly educated to the doctoral level, ultra liberal, live in downtown Cincinnati and vote Democrat right down the ticket. And that's what people do. And there was only a 28% voter turnout this past election.
That's never good. That's never
disgraceful.
Good.
I mean, it really is. So those voters are the ones who, and there was a couple of high-profile violent incidents the day after the election. Multiple people getting shot, gunfire. Maybe remember the video from Short Bind? People are running for their lives down the street. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, it just gunfire like that. And I put on my social media, I said, well, this is what the voters of Cincinnati want. This is how they want it. And I was talking to Chris Smitherman the day after that. And I said, is that a fair statement to say this type of violent situation is what the voters of Cincinnati want? And he said is absolutely fair, because we have a city council that does not take violence seriously. They don't take removing snow from the road seriously. They think they got a little lucky today.
You went on a rant about that.
Yeah, with getting the snow out. But they do not take violence seriously. There's been a lot of lip service. When we had and James, I think we had you on the show back when Cincinnati was in the news every night.
Oh yeah, no, I was right in the middle of that. I was
yeah. When the beatdown happened, right there on the streets of Cincinnati, our mayor left town. He left town and literally phoned it in to the meetings they were having to talk about this issue. And I mean, you talk about someone who doesn't give a shit. That is our mayor, and yet he gets elected with 80% of the vote.
And in fairness,
reelected.
Not our mayor, but the city.
I know the city. Astab. What'd you call him? Astab.
I call him Astab. So,
and this is a guy from Lake Charles, Louisiana, who's calling him Astab.
And I feel like I'm part of y'all, and I've done some research on him, and he is a complete ass clown. So we'll call him Astab.
He is. And now that he's term limited out, he's lame duck. So over the next 4 years, he came in and he made his speech, and Corey Bowman was the one who drove the issue a little bit of doing something about crime in this city, and he gave it some lip service. He's all, safety is my top concern and all that. 4 years is going to come and go. he's going to spend a bunch of money that it's going to go to NGOs and nonprofits, and maybe maybe if there's any Somalis living in Cincinnati, the money will go to them. And
nonprofits are a huge problem. They're the biggest problem we have. One of the biggest problems in America.
Yeah, there'll be all kinds of fraud, and he'll just go on to higher office. So there you go.
Well, I'll tell you that it's sad. It's a sad situation because we really, our time there, and we stayed downtown. Our time there, we thoroughly enjoyed the city. We went baseball game, went to the zoo. Y'all have the potential to have really neat.
Bonded with Pappas too, man. It was big.
Yeah, went breakfast with Pappas. What can you ask for anything better than that?
Fucking food's involved. Pappas is in. He's happier than a pig in shit at that point.
And then the next week, like
you
3 days after,
Pappas, you won't get hit on nearly as hard.
3 days after we get back, there was a shooting right around the corner. Tom had sent it to me. It was right around the corner from where we were staying. There was a shooting at that square, and which is a sad thing. So,
I mean, and having out of towners come in, for our wedding, which was awesome, and hanging out down at the Banks, which are where the stadium is, the Banks, that bar district, and nothing happened. I was petrified, to be honest with you. Just in the fact that I had somebody that came out of town, spent their hard-earned money to come and enjoy our night with us. I'm like, God damn it, please don't let anything happen right now. It can happen tomorrow. It can happen the next day. I don't give a shit, but it's fucking embarrassing.
Well, with Beth and I, at least you're dealing with two people that know shit can happen anywhere at any time. And, so we don't ever factor that in on where we go. If one of us gets killed somewhere, that's just life, and that's just part of life, and we don't we've seen all that. So we were really enjoyed it, and I just wish y'all had better leadership in that city, because y'all could have a really nice small big city.
Well, that's the thing. We used to have great leadership in this city, and even when there were Democrats who were in charge of this city, we had Democrats who were, by today's standard, very right-wing Democrats, very, very conservative, fiscally conservative and socially conservative. And the police department in Cincinnati used to be considered the best in the entire country.
I totally agree. When they revamped in the early in the 90s or in the 2000s, they're revamped, and they had a very good reputation. And that is kind of sad. Democrats, Dan, in my family, when I registered when I was 18 years old, the reason why I registered as a Republican was because my civics class, I took a survey, a test, and it said that I'm a Republican. So I registered Republican. My mom didn't speak to me for 2 fucking weeks.
Wow.
Because my dad, they were all union people.
She took his rocket robots and
look, my mom's an Italian woman, and they were big in the unions. My grandpa was a union boss. It was that was a big deal. But now she's a Republican, because that's not the Democrat Party. And I wish that the black voter would understand that. This is not your grandpa's Democrat Party anymore. And, it's kind of like, Jason, the other night we were talking about it. When people, the liberals are supporting all these Muslim countries. Okay. They hate gay people, and women are third-class citizens. So how the fuck are you supporting this Islamic takeover? So that's what kind of gets me, is the same thing with the black voter. How are you supporting this Democrat Party when you don't stand for anything that they do?
Yeah, and it's fair, and it leads us into like the main topic that I know you're fired up about.
Oh, I'm fucking pissed. I'm fucking pissed, man. I'll tell you, I was in Costa Rica last week, and Costa Rica, if you've never been, is just a wonderful place. The people are happy, and I was like, man, why are we so fucking miserable? These people have nothing, and they're happy. So I came back yesterday morning, did my first show, and I kind of had a Rodney King, why can't we all just get along moment, and did this show on, man, we just need to get together. Then last night I started looking into this, what our topic is today. And then I got fucking pissed. And Cincinnati, you can talk about Cincinnati you want, but you could be worse. You could be fucking Minneapolis.
I'll take Cincinnati over Minneapolis. I'm going to play
Oh,
this video.
fucking day.
I'm going to play this video real quick, and then we'll get into it.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has come under fire. Hundreds of social service workers publicly are blaming him for a massive fraud scandal that's been rocking the welfare system in the state. Staff at Minnesota Human Services Department say widespread false billing allegedly found more than $1 billion in taxpayer funds to nonprofits that are tied to the Somali community. Now, they claim Walz ignored their warnings, even punished whistleblowers. Officials now are still uncovering how deep the fraud went and whether any of the money may have reached terror groups overseas. Investigative correspondent Rich McHugh has been all over this story, really from the jump, as they say. Joins us now. What's the governor's office saying about these new developments?
Hi, Colin. Well, we asked, and the governor's office isn't formally commenting on these posts that were posted onto X as of yesterday by allegedly hundreds of DHS, Minnesota DHS workers. I'll read some just because they're stunning in the rebuke of Governor Walz. Tim Walz is 100% responsible for massive fraud in Minnesota. We let Tim Walz know of fraud early on, hoping for a partnership in stopping fraud. But no, we got the opposite response. They continue. Tim Walz systematically retaliated against whistleblowers using monitoring, threats, repression, and did his best to discredit fraud reports. Instead of partnership, we got the full weight of retaliation. It's scary, isolating, and left us wondering who we can turn to. Now, in an interesting development, this afternoon, that account was suspended from X for a period of hours, but then put back online. There was a lot of outcry as a commentary account and under a slightly different name with the same amount of followers. We asked the Department of Health Human Services, in Minnesota, to confirm if they are associated with this in any way, and they said they could not. What is not in question here, Connell, is the amount of fraud. We're talking $1 billion in fraud that we've reported on. Governor was asked about it yesterday on Meet the Press. Take a listen.
Dozens of people of East African descent have been charged, convicted, and sentenced for stealing more than $1 billion in taxpayer money from government programs during COVID. As you know, Governor, that is more than Minnesota spends each year to run its Department of Corrections. So I want to give you a chance to respond to this. Do you take responsibility for failing to stop this fraud in your state?
Well, certainly I take responsibility for putting people in jail. Governors don't get to just talk theoretically. We have to solve problems. And I will note, it's not just Somalis. Minnesota is a generous state. Minnesota is a prosperous state, a well-run state. We're AAA bond rated, but that attracts criminals. Those people are going to jail. We're doing everything we can. But to demonize an entire community on the actions of a few, it's lazy.
This percentage coming up is astounding.
We've talked to federal sources. They've confirmed it for us. Of the 86 that have been indicted so far, 79 of them are of Somali descent. So it's not a very small bunch. It's the majority of those who have been indicted to date. And they tell us this number is going to go up.
Okay, and now I mentioned at the top this concern about maybe some of the money being transferred to groups overseas. What can you tell us, if anything, about that?
So we also have our own reporting on this. We talked to federal sources, both current, former, and also joint terrorism sources who said, yes, this money makes its way to Somalia. And of that money, there's a cut of it that goes to an Al-Qaeda linked terror group, Al-Shabaab.
Al-Shabaab.
We can't do a forensic accounting of it because we don't know once it's over there, but it's there for sure. And they were unequivocal about it when we talked to them.
All right, Rich. Like I said, Rich has been on top of the story. I know he'll stay on top of all the latest developments. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So that's the beginning. The beginning.
That report right there just literally just scratches the surface.
Yes.
Of the breathtaking fraud that is going on in Minnesota. I mean, you've got James McGee, you've got Minnesotans and these Somali, and this is large, not all of them, but this is largely within the Somali community. Mm-hmm. You've got individuals who claimed that they were feeding hungry children, and they got millions of dollars. Like, I think the funding before the Wuhan was 34 million. Then during the Wuhan, it jumped up to like 142 million. And they claimed they were feeding thousands of children when in fact they weren't feeding anyone. So they got all this money and then you had these different restaurants and these different locations within the Somali community, and they claimed that they were feeding all these thousands of children. And this went on for years. Then you have another fraud that involved Health and Human Services called the Minnesota Medicaid Housing Stabilization Service Program. And so this was a program that's supposed to help disabled people, seniors, addicts get housing. Complete and total fraud. And this was, this was started out at 2.6 million annually. Cost shot up to 42 million, then 74 million, then 104 million during the first 6 months of 2025 of this year. $61 million went out the door. So this fraud started years ago, continued into the Trump administration, and the first 6 months of this year, $61 million went out to these individuals. Then you have the autism fraud. So this was a fraud scheme in Minnesota, is around a business called Smart Therapy Center. And so what you would do, you would have a lot of these people in the Somali community come in and say that my kid has autism. And so they would sign on a program. The parents would allegedly get kickbacks that range anywhere from $300 to $1,500 per child. Okay. And this went on and on and on. So, I mean, look at what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Talking about we're feeding kids, complete fraud. We're housing people, complete fraud. Helping kids with autism, complete and total fraud. And total to date, they've uncovered $1 billion worth of fraud, and they say it's just the tip of the iceberg.
And this cartoon is from our friend Folk. So I always want to give kudos.
She is awesome. Brittany is with us every morning.
I don't use nearly as much as I should that she sends me, but I will start. Thank you, Folk. But I love it. Perfect.
So I'm about to say something real offensive. So if
please do.
Yes.
So to Tim Walls, if you happen to be listening, this is what we need you to do. Get the tampon out of your ass and the Somalia cock out of your mouth, because that's all you care about. That's all you care about is offended Somalia people. When you have a group of people that's responsible for this, yes, you call them out. The main thing he wanted that did that interview for is to defend Somalians. I'm not saying they're all the Somalians are bad, but I can tell you, okay, we always say, there are some bad Americans out there, but I think 90% of Americans are good people, okay? There are some good Somalians out there, but the ones we have in the United States, it is showing, to me, my opinion, and I have a right to my opinion, 90% of Somalians in the United States are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And I think they should be shipped out of here. If they're not naturalized, and I think naturalized gives you some rights, and I think we case by case basis, and like Ilhan Omar, she needs to be denaturalized because she was fraud.
How about if you do it the right way, then you don't have a problem.
That's right. But all this, the temporary protected status, all that needs to be wiped out. And if you're Somalian and you're not a naturalized citizen, you're here and not a citizen, you need to be shipped back, and we got to start over. The only way to fix immigration is to fucking start over. And you start with these Somalians who are when a group of people have stolen $1 billion from your country, all of them have to go. You know what? The good are going to have to be punished for the bad. That's life. That's how, look, when we were in school, how many times somebody's cutting up in the back and the whole class gets punished? That's how it is.
Well, you talked about Ilhan Omar, and Trump put out a characterization of Ilhan Omar over the weekend. And here's what Trump wrote about Ilhan Omar. The worst congresswoman in our country, Ilhan Omar, always wrapped in her swaddling hijab, who probably came into the USA illegally, in that you are not allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about our country, its constitution, and how badly she is treated, when her place of origin is a decadent, backward, and crime-ridden nation, which is essentially not even a country for lack of government, military, police, schools, etc. So this is what Trump said about Ilhan Omar, and she's out there talking about how Somalis are the fabric of the nation, and they're really concerned about American. And I'm saying bullshit to all that. I mean, are the people in Somalia ripping off their own government the same way the people of Somalia here are ripping off our government?
Absolutely.
Well, they don't really have
They
don't
don't
have
just
a
money
government,
that came from Minnesota.
They would be
This is
getting
all of our taxpayer dollars.
they would be getting their hands cut off if they were. When you say the government, I don't know if you're talking about the Al-Shabaab or the actual government, but no, they're not. They're not doing anything.
They're not stealing from Al-Shabaab. I can guarantee you that.
Fuck no.
Oh, they're funneling him our money.
They would all have fucking nubs. They would all have nubs because guess what? They cut their fucking hands off.
You think Al-Shabaab is very lenient when it comes to people stealing from them?
Look at. Can I remind everybody about the movie Black Hawk Down and what they did to our fucking soldiers?
Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Exactly. I haven't said it out loud yet, but I plan on saying that on my show this week.
I'll fucking say it.
Yeah, no, I want to say it. What the fuck? Look what they did. Look what this country did to us, and we bring them all over here in the 90s under Clinton because
meanwhile we are still dropping off food. We were dropping off food, but yet they still mutilated soldiers.
It wasn't just, it was they're savages. And yes, Cincy, 90%, in my opinion, I have a right to my opinion, and what I have seen, what I have witnessed, the exposure that I've had, there might be 10% that are worth the skin they're wrapped in. The other 90%, they can go fuck themselves. Look what they did, Black Hawk Down. This was people on the, little kids. You had kids out there shooting at our soldiers. Did we forget about that? Just like we forgot about 9/11, did we forget about Black Hawk Down?
Yeah, you're absolutely fucking correct. And again, opinions are opinions, and I love when the chats get going. Just understand it. Everybody's got their opinion, and I think I think this is all fucking horse shit.
But let's not forget. I mean, there have already been, I think, like 56 convictions in all. So I mean, these cases have been going on for years. So there's already been 56 convictions. I think out of those numbers, I think the number is 46 who are Somalian.
No. He just said it. There's fucking 89.
Okay,
I'd have to go back and listen.
But okay, but it's the thing is,
there were like 6 people.
Yeah, this is not
Somali.
just allegedly. I mean, these cases have been going on for years, and people have already been convicted in this.
What's the saying? If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a goose. Apparently,
I didn't send you this picture, but I got a picture of Tim Walz with someone named Ayan Abukar, who received the Minnesota 2021 Outstanding Refugee Entrepreneurship Award. Later, this woman was convicted in the $250 million Feeding Our Future case.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So her entrepreneurial spirit was ripping off the U.S. government. So
yeah, let's go to this next video.
Well, and let's set this up because over the weekend,
you set it up. You sent it to me.
Donald Trump put out a statement about Tim Walz that people are really wringing their hands about right now because he referred to Tim Walz, and I think the phrase he used, who was obviously retarded. Mm-hmm. And so, retarded is one of those words that you're not supposed to say anymore because it's a bad word. People get offended. I mean,
it's like fag. You can't say fag.
You can't say that. We used to have levies that would when I was younger. We used to have, you vote every 2 years or 4 years, and hey, there's a levy for the mental retardation this and mental retardation that, buses and all the other stuff. We used to say that word all the time, but now it's I guess it's got some stigma or something attached to it. You can't say it anymore. But heaven forbid, Trump used the word retarded, and Tim Walz was responding to that on one of the weekend shows this weekend. And whoever put this clip together, I want to give them credit because they reminded us that Tim Walz really is as pure as the wind-driven snow.
He is retarded.
Here we go.
But look, this is what Donald Trump has done. He's normalized this type of hateful behavior and this type of language. Well, maybe it's time for us to be a little meaner. But when it's adult like Donald Trump, you bully the shit out of him back.
What we should demonize is people like Elon Musk.
Although I will say this, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying. There will be news sometime. Just so you know, there will be news.
So there's Tim Walz. He's so pure and so offended that Trump called him a retard that, never mind that he said, we need to, he's full of shit. Never mind that he said we need to go after Elon Musk. Never mind that he was praying and hoping that we're going to have news that Trump is going to be assassinated. Never mind any of that stuff. You're going to call me a retard. Hey, I'm good, man.
What drives you nuts is the way he's like, just saying. The way he says it, I want to.
Okay, so Jason, that's proven Donald Trump's point. Now, me and you and Candace talked about this other Sunday night on my show, and I did say that I didn't like the fact that Donald Trump said retarded. But now that I look at it more and I see it, you know what? What other word is there? The man's retarded. If you're retarded, you're retarded.
I mean, it's to Dan's point. I'm kind of stuck because it is a stigma now. All of a sudden,
yeah.
Now, is it the most correct word that you could say? No.
Well,
also is it Donald Trump? I'm a Donald Trump supporter, but he says a lot of dumb shit, right? But that's kind of why I like him, because when he says dumb shit, something comes around behind it where he's actually doing something. Where we had a fucking corpse in the White House for 4 years, just going, "Ooh, I like ice cream. I want to smell your hair. I want to do this shit." And he did not do shit. Donald Trump's coming in and doing business, and I'll take the bad words. Okay, that's fine.
No,
I have friends that have mentally handicapped fucking children. Do I like the word? No. Do I use it? Yes. I'm a fireman. It happens at the firehouse all the time, right, wrong, or different. But I'll take somebody. I'll take the word and be like, I don't like the way it came across, but you're handling your business.
Yeah.
And if you're handling business and not fucking taking $100 billion out of fucking people's mouths and putting it in your pocket for your friends' mansions and your friends' mansions, it's like fucking Oprah Winfrey up in Minnesota. You get a mansion, you get a mansion, you get a mansion. Fuck you.
And funding terrorism. They're funding terrorism. And they're, the fact that
all day long.
It doesn't take a rocket science or somebody real schooled or educated in leadership to understand that Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar are the anti-leadership. They are the absolute opposite of what a leader is. For him to say, for his response to be, well, I take responsibility in putting people in jail. You can't even say jail right. Second, he didn't put anybody in jail. The state did nothing. And Dan showed us evidence that it had been reported for years of what they were doing to Tim Walz. He did nothing. And the federal government comes in and cleans up another one of his messes. Just like with George Floyd, the federal government comes in and cleans another one of his messes up. And he gets up there and what does he do? Blame Donald Trump. Because the problem is that's what.
Get it right.
That's default. That's the default for the Democrats. Blame Donald Trump. That's their dice roll dance. Blame Donald Trump. Default to that because that's what gets the liberal mafia. That's what activates that group of people. That's what activates their base. All you have to do is say Donald Trump's fault or Donald Trump did this. And then the attention is taking off of, because this is the perfect case, Jason, of, hey, look over here at Donald Trump because we don't want you to see all the money we stole. Because Tim Walz is fucking involved. He's involved in this, and so is Ilhan Omar. There's no way they're not.
But it's all systematic of the way Democrats handle money and the way they fund the way they fund whatever operations they want to fund. And their source of money is the United States Treasury.
Yep.
They get people in power. They want to create a program, like
real quick. Just one of the comments. So our buddy Will Cray, who we met down in Clayton, who lives in Minnesota, he says he knows it's true, but doesn't think that the Somalis are in general are the problem when they are, which is a huge issue. But also, he is also the problem. So, Will Cray, thank you for saying that.
Well, the New York Post,
you're there living it, and I get it, and I know since he's got family up there, and he's going to argue it, but you're living it every fucking day.
Well, since he has family up there, he should be more concerned about it.
That's what I don't understand. But
if I'm Cincy, I'm like,
I'm sorry.
If I'm Cincy, I'm like, if I'm you, I'm like, send them all back because my family's in danger. They're in physical danger, and the money that's being stolen could be used to help real people.
Well, the thing is, Tim Walz has known about this over the weekend. Hundreds, and this was included in a piece written by the New York Post over the weekend. Over the weekend, hundreds of state social workers skewered Governor Tim Walz, not just for ignoring shady nonprofits shamelessly milking the state's generous welfare system, but also for punishing workers who raised alarms. So how often do we hear, especially when you've got whistleblowers out there who are working on behalf of Democrats, that, hey, these whistleblowers, you can't touch them. They're sacred. They're to be protected. They are telling the truth. But when whistleblowers come forward and expose stuff like this, and Biden did the exact same thing to IRS whistleblowers who wanted to expose the fraud that Joe Biden and his family were engaged in. Well, they went after these whistleblowers and intimidated and threatened them. And that's exactly what Tim Walz did. So to have Tim Walz sit there and talk about how he's going to take credit for putting people in jail, he didn't have anything to do with any of these prosecutions.
First off, he doesn't have arrest authority. The guy's a fucking clown. He is the biggest clown in America. The only thing missing from him is the red nose and the big shoes. That's it.
What have the Clintons done since they've been out of office and a bunch of shit?
They embezzled a bunch of money.
They've killed a laundry list.
Be careful on how I word it. They unalived some people.
Yeah, I can tell you what they've done. They killed a lot of people and they stole a lot of money.
You get on the wrong side of the Clintons, you better start watching your back, man.
Yeah, I mean it's the same shit. This is a smaller scale, President, First Lady / Governor. Now you've got another governor who is like, we're going to take care of this fucking problem because you said something. Oh, got it. Your name again? Okay, cool.
I don't know how long ago it was that the Democrats hit on this formula that you talk about. You're gonna do all these wonderful things. You're gonna create housing for people. You're going to have solar panels run the entire world. You're gonna have all this stuff, and you have these different agencies that make this kind of stuff happen. Right? The non-governmental agencies, the nonprofits, all that kind of stuff. Well, it just so happens that these agencies and these different nonprofits are run by your friends. So your friends, and this is exactly what Stacey Abrams did. She said she was going to do this energy thing where they were going to, put all these high-tech appliances, refrigerators and stoves and dishwashers in people's homes, and they were going to save all this money. And so they went to some small town in Georgia and put in a dozen or 2 dozen, refrigerators and appliances and stoves and stuff in these homes and said, look at all this money we saved. And if we just scale this up, we are going to save millions and millions of dollars. Oh, well, that's great. So then the next thing you know, her fraudulent organization is in line to get $2 billion from the Biden administration. And that money wasn't going to be used to do anything. It was going to be used to go in Stacey Abrams' pocket. But I mean, how many people do you think were really going to get new appliances and all this money was going to be saved on these energy savings? It's beyond ridiculous. And this has been going on for years now, and all this stuff needs to stop. It needs to stop, and the government needs to stop doing business this way. And Tim Walz was a facilitator of all this. And I think down the road we're going to find out that a lot of this money, not only was it going to Al-Shabaab, but it was going to Al Walz and the Walz cabal, whatever.
But Dan, nothing is ever done. Look at Brittany's governor, Newscomb. He said, "Hey, give me $56 billion and I'm gonna solve the homeless problem." They gave him $56 billion and the homeless problem tripled.
Yeah.
He funneled it to all these nonprofits that was ran by his friends and his wife.
It rolls right into the fucking Afghani stuff.
It 100% is. Oh.
How many? Oh, shit. He said 100%.
That's right. Yeah.
But, I mean, how many Afghanis were brought in? And after the guardsmen were shot, and we had already knew this just summed it up. And just, in a Cliff Notes, I listened to the Drinking Bros episode from yesterday. Mm-hmm. Dan Holloway was, a former military guy who knows people in DC and whatever. And I'm grabbing just a podcast, so I'm not saying it's for fact, but he knows people that literally watched a bunch of these Afghanis get dropped off to a compound, Ubers taking them wherever, and they're fucking gone. And none of them were fucking vetted. And, what do you say, Jen Psaki? You always call her Psaki.
Jen Psaki, yeah.
Oh, I fucking hate that cunt.
Where she's saying, oh, they're all vetted. Well, that was under the Biden administration. And guess what? This guy came over, the guy that unfortunately unalived somebody, was part of a CIA, operation over there where we obviously have friends. That's a frothy one too. Did you shake them up the whole way here?
I don't know. You just got it out of the fridge.
I know. You shake them up apparently on the way here. Well, I know how you walk. So you walk like this. So I get it.
I drove here and walk.
No, but I'm saying walking from the car to here.
It's 30 degrees outside.
I can see how it'll work.
We got snow on the ground. We're not someplace nice like where McGee's sitting.
But
it's beautiful here. It is kind of cold out here. It's
regardless of that bullshit.
Kind of cold.
We allowed our people have allowed, our government allowed all these people in unvetted. Something bad happened. One of which who was working with us, but on their side, and we allowed him in. And he got fed up and did what he did, which I hope he rides the fucking lightning hard as shit. But this all stems into the same shit. So you close the border on Mexico. Guess what? We don't have to deal with that. Now we've got the shit up in Minnesota with the Somalis. You got the Afghans that are already here, and then you throw in the fucking narcos, and where fucking Hegseth is going to get fucking hit with, or supposedly going to get hit with.
Now, you seen the reports coming out today? That's all bullshit. What the Washington Post, it's all bullshit. He didn't do that. But I don't know about y'all, but
they said that he authorized the second hit on.
No, he did not. He did not. It's coming out today that he did not.
I'm completely fine if he did, because guess what? If there were people still,
the general did
know what was happening.
The general did.
The general.
What they're saying is the boat was.
If it's still fucking occupied, James,
it was not destroyed. It was disabled, and it's supposed to be destroyed. So the second strike was to destroy the boat, and consequently, the people were killed. So what the Washington Post reported was completely false.
Yes,
that Hegseth did not. Hegseth, as a secretary,
and I'll retract. I misspoke because I meant the general, not Hegseth. So
yeah. I support the general too, but Hegseth, they just got a hard on for him.
Oh fuck yeah! He's
not given direct orders like that. If anybody, common sense tells you that he's given intent. He's given intent as the Secretary of War. This is what I want done. He's not operational like that. He's not directly given, oh, go hit him again. There's not absolutely no way. But two things on the Somalis and the Afghans. What I am so tired of hearing is asylum. I'm so tired, and y'all know I have a very right wing stance on immigration. I'm not America first. I'm America only. I am sick of asylum. When we have homeless people in this country, we have people who are, like Brittany said on my show this morning. You know what about the asylum for all the women who are getting raped in some of these war-torn cities like Chicago? Where's their asylum? So until we start giving asylum and take care of our people, I don't want to hear asylum to other countries. And the other thing, and I'm definitely got to give a disclaimer. I'm not taking up for the man that shot these two National Guardsmen. But think about this: we're bringing them in by the thousands, and what are we doing with them? What, they have no means, they have nothing, so they're going to resort to violence. If they're not violent people, they're going to end up resorting to violence because what do they have? They're living on the streets. They don't have. We can't support that. We think we have to bring every motherfucker here from these third world countries. We don't have the infrastructure, Dan, to deal with them. What the fuck are we supposed to do? And this is what is created. What happened with the Afghani is what was created, because maybe he, if he worked with our military, we don't know what was in his mind. We don't really know what he was really about. Maybe he'd been planning this for years. I don't know.
Well, we had that big joint military base over there, and the first thing that Biden did was abandon that and let the Taliban take it over. And when you talk about all these individuals that worked with us in Afghanistan, they could have all been put on that base. That base could have been secured, and they could have, started their lives over right there. And they could have found, if they needed to get out of Afghanistan, it could have been done in a slow, orderly process. They could have been, they could have had absolute security on that base, but yet that option was gone because of the total cluelessness and ineptness of that administration and that withdrawal from Afghanistan. And that was one of the first major foreign policy decisions of the Biden administration, and it is still haunting us to this day. I mean, think about that. We talked to Stu Scheller and how he called out the leadership and said, look, where were you guys? Where were you guys, the senior leadership, to stand up and say, this is wrong. This is not the way we ought to be doing this. And he's the one who paid the price for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
lost everything
in the sense of a career. I mean, he wasn't killed for it, but now, all these years later, we have National Guard members on duty doing nothing more than what they're told to do in Washington, D.C. One is dead, and one is still fighting for his life today.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick sponsor break real quick here, James, and then we'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. Dan Carroll here. Time to tell you about a great new sponsor for the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. It's Murphy Engraving. Murphy Engraving is the place to go for your business, industrial, and personal engraving needs. Take a look at the Murphy Engraving page on Facebook, and you're going to see all kinds of unique items that really seem to take on a life of their own because they've been customized with an image, a name, or a logo, and all of it just really beautifully done. The acrylic sports awards that light up are especially creative and very cool. The customized bottles of bourbon, those are my personal favorite. And wait till you see what they can do with items that are made out of wood. The next time you want to recognize someone special or you're looking for that one-of-a-kind gift, you'll be glad you checked out Murphy Engraving. And a bonus, you're supporting a local family-owned business run by brothers Brian and Kevin, who is a lifetime firefighter and Air Force vet. At Murphy Engraving, they turn the ordinary into the extraordinary, and at Murphy Engraving, we are American-made. Well, Donald Trump had little, not really a procedure, Would you call an MRI a procedure?
No.
I saw today where somebody
it's a
said
test. It's a test.
somebody said there's no such thing as a preventative MRI.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
That's absolutely not true.
A president's supposed to have that every fucking year. Bunch of dumb fucks.
Look, I'm not up on the medical stuff like you guys are.
I'm not talking about no, Dan. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about all the dumb fucks like Tim Walz that gets up there because he's trying to divert from the crimes he committed. He got up there and said, "Well, I never heard anybody have an MRI because you're dumb." Is why
it's because you never made it into the second house, you dumb dick. Presidents get fucking MRIs every fucking year.
So right now, the left is out there with the narrative, trying to spin this narrative that Donald Trump is tired. Donald Trump really can't keep up the pace.
I'd be fucking tired too.
Donald Trump.
He works 18 hours a fucking day, bro.
Yeah, Donald Trump is he's not the guy he used to be, and maybe he has a serious illness that he's hiding from people.
Oh my God! They're just taking a play out of. They're just saying what we were saying 3 years ago about Biden.
Well,
they have nothing.
Yeah, and then his doctor released this statement talking about the preventative MRI Donald Trump had. Keith, would you care to read that?
So, addressed to Caroline Leavitt. Leavitt. I always said Leavitt. Great
from White House spokesperson.
Right, Sean Barbarella, physician to the president, Captain U.S. Navy.
Yes.
Subject: summary of President Donald J. Trump's advanced imaging results for immediate release as part of President Donald J. Trump's comprehensive executive physical advanced imaging was performed because men of his age group benefit from a thorough evaluation. Sorry, it's small print, so I have to lean forward. I'm trying not to smoke the mic here. Evaluation of cardiovascular and abdominal health. The purpose of this imaging is preventative to identify issues early, confirm overall health, and ensure he maintains long-term vitality and function. President Trump's cardiovascular imaging is perfectly normal. There is no evidence of arterial narrowing, impairing blood flow, or abnormalities in the heart or major vessels. The heart chambers are normal in size. The vessel walls appear smooth and healthy, and there are no signs of inflammation or clotting. Overall, this cardiovascular system shows excellent health. His abdominal imaging is also perfectly normal. All major organs appear very healthy and well perfused. Now, the drinking bros were messing this up. I was listening. They saw this. They called it profused. And in my truck, I'm yelling at the radio.
What's the word?
It's perfused.
Perfused, okay. Which means what?
Perfusion, blood flow.
Okay, all right.
But I was yelling at my fucking truck radio this morning. I'm like, God damn it, you dumb dicks. But I'm listening a day later, so
that's great.
It's not even like I could text Ross and be like, hey, it's fucking perfusion, you asshole. But, everything evaluated is functioning within normal limits with no acute or chronic concerns. Summary: the level of detailed assessment is standard for an executive physical at President Trump's age and confirms that he remains in excellent overall health. So everybody is jumping, just losing their fucking minds because he got an MRI.
Long story short,
have you ever
asked? The greatest MRI ever.
Have you ever?
The best one they've ever seen.
Have you ever asked a neighbor, hey, how'd your MRI go? You typically don't give a shit unless you know somebody that is in bad health, right?
Yeah.
Well,
but we're not presidents. The president, it's pretty much big deal. You get your physical, and then you get your extensive screening.
An 80-year-old man should be getting an MRI.
Way more important than we are.
An 80-year-old man with the code to the nuclear codes should be getting an MRI every year. There's no.
I would say every fucking 6 months. Myself.
I agree with that. That
yearly, yeah. Okay, cool.
It doesn't matter anything that he does. It's just like, I'm a comment because this was directed towards me on Cincy. So Cincy, listen here. So I'm gonna take back what I told Jason the other night. I told Jason that I enjoy debating with you because you seem like a very intelligent man, even though we disagree on stuff and Jason agreed. But for you to say something as stupid as you just said, I have to take that back. You voted for a rapist. That's all you fucking got. That's all you got is you voted for a rapist. But first off, it's a complete lie.
Well, he's never been convicted for one.
He's never been charged.
Or charged.
So that's all bullshit. And just like earlier, I didn't comment earlier when you said that I live in the state with Republican-led state with the highest crime rate. Well, let me correct you on that because I'm very well educated on this. So Louisiana, that I may per capita be, but let me tell you why. Because in the state of Louisiana, we have the three largest cities, which is New Orleans, then Baton Rouge, and then Shreveport, which are all historically, not newly, but historically over 20 years have been Democrat-led. You take now. I did my math on this, Cynthia. You're welcome to go back and fact check me. If you take those three Democrat-led cities out, the state of Louisiana has the lowest violent crime rate in the nation. Boom. Get your facts fucking right.
Boom. All right. Yeah. You want to lead a fox to a hen house and see what happens.
No, I like Cynthia. I like you. I think you're an intelligent guy. But intelligent people don't say dumb shit just to say something.
I got another video here you'll like, James, and then we'll dial it down. We got like 2 more stories, so we'll go just over an hour probably. We were trying not to, but it's good conversation, and the chats have been lively, so yeah, we'll take it.
I got to give huge props to this guy. This video is probably just a little bit behind the times. We had the big No Kings rally. What was that, about maybe a month or so ago? And you had a bunch of numbnuts out there who were demonstrating and protesting against Trump. And one of my favorite parts was people who were asked what they were protesting against, and they couldn't even articulate
no idea
a single thing. By and large, not a single thing.
And I also love the fact that Trump jumped on it, and he was like, "Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm not your king, but I'm still your president."
So this guy takes all the issues, not all of them, but a good portion of the issues that the No Kings people were complaining about, and shows what really is behind a lot of these issues. Here we go.
No kings. Imagine a president who used ICE to round up and deport over 2 million illegal migrants.
The system just isn't working, and we need to change it.
What did he give us? 1 million people been deported.
The Obama administration has deported 2.5 million immigrants from the United States over 2 terms. That's the highest number for any president ever. That's all of the presidents of the 20th century combined.
No kings. Imagine a president who used his power to meddle in elections.
This is the definition of election meddling, and it's the definition of election meddling by the FBI on behalf of Democrats.
No kings. Imagine a president who would use his power to threaten free speech.
They pushed us super hard to take down things that were true. Who is they? Who's telling you to take down things about vaccine side effects? It was people in the Biden administration.
No kings. Imagine a president who would threaten press freedoms.
Court documents released this week show the Obama administration secretly monitored a Washington journalist.
For the first time ever, a presidential administration is treating news reporting like a crime. The level of government surveillance over a reporter was unprecedented. Bipartisan outrage over what some are calling Obama's war on journalism.
No kings. Imagine a president who would use his power to threaten his political opponents.
Congress has obtained evidence that shows that the Biden White House was directly involved in trying to help start Jack Smith's investigation on the January 6th probe against President Trump. Specifically, that the White House counsel's office secretly obtained President Trump's and Vice President Mike Pence's former phones and giving them to the prosecutors, basically sicking the Justice Department on his future competitor, his future rival in the 2024 election.
No kings. Imagine a president who would weaponize the government and the legal system against his political opponent.
The Obama administration had weaponized government 10 times what Democrats are falsely accusing the Trump administration of doing.
No kings. Or some kings are better than others, I guess.
So
isn't that telling?
I don't know what that guy's name is, but I give him huge props for putting that together. And the video is, those are all a video from newscasts and different things that show that it was the Obama administration that was behind a lot of this stuff, and they're casting this on to the Trump administration, and of course the Biden administration was there too.
Which the Biden administration was the Obama administration, just 2.0.
No kings. I love that.
So James, I'm not going to ask.
James, did you enjoy that video?
Oh, I think he might.
He's freeze up.
He might be
frozen.
up. He might be frozen.
Oh, he's frozen up.
But
it's too bad. The weather looks so nice there.
I
too.
know.
All right, James. See you, buddy.
He'll be back maybe for a second. All right. So Dan, let me ask you. You and I live in the same neighborhood.
Yes, we do.
We like to go out and splurge in the economy, as we'll say. We like to go do some things.
Yes, we do.
What could you do with $100 million?
Well, gosh, I mean, that's a whole nother show. We're getting close to the end now, but I could do a lot of things with $100 million.
You are a new grandpa,
even after taxes.
You are a new grandpa.
That's fact.
Which is amazing.
That is a fact. So, spoil a baby.
Yeah, spoil a baby.
The deck on the back of my house needs some work. So
maybe some siding, maybe some gutters. Even if you wanted to buy a new house, you could do that, right?
Might be able to fit that in.
You could fit that.
$100 million doesn't go as far as it used
to. James, you're coming in. You're coming back.
I'm back. I don't know what happened, but I'm back.
But this.
Did you enjoy that No Kings video?
I did. I absolutely enjoyed it, and it's the truth. It's. But you won't ever get people.
Wake up, people.
You won't ever get people, liberals, to see that.
So we moved on. We moved on from there, and I was asking Dan. And I'm not going to ask like what your net worth is or what you make a year, but $100 million you could do a lot of things with for your family, for yourself. Correct?
Oh yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. That's.
So you're saying you're a little shy of $100 million?
Yeah, I'm not broke, but I'm definitely not in that range. I'm not a millionaire for sure. I do okay for the cost of living in Southwest Louisiana.
Beautiful.
This fucking video Dan sent me was the most preposterous thing I've ever fucking heard in my entire life. And that's why I was asking, because I already had I had numbers in my head. I'm like, no, I could definitely stretch this for a long time.
This is Odell Beckham Jr.
Beckham Jr.
He's a pretty famous guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
he went to LSU.
Big time football player.
He was LSU guy.
In the league 10 years.
All right.
He tells you all about it. He gives you his accolades and then his sob story.
All right.
He's not a good guy. I'll tell you all that. He's not a good guy.
If I didn't have $1 in my account right here today as we speak, I'm going to be straight for the rest of my life. No question, right? I don't think everybody is in that. And when you've sacrificed your whole life to get here and you're like, yeah, I played 10 years in the league. And I always explain this to people, I'm like, bro, you give somebody a 5-year, $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60. You're getting taxed. Do the math. That's 12 a year, that you have to spend, use, save,
12 million a year.
Invest, flaunt, like whatever, however, just being real. I'm gonna buy a car. I'm gonna do everything costs money. So if you spending $4 million a year, that's really $40 million over 5 years, 8 a year, And now you start breaking down the numbers. It's like that's a 5-year span of where you're getting $8 million. Can you make that last forever?
I'm throwing right now.
It's rough out there.
That's called responsibility. You have 5 years to get, and I'll give him I don't know what the tax rate is. The 60 million I think is fair.
I will give him that. I mean,
he's going to lose 40 million.
Tax, 40% tax is fair.
The 50% of that is lopped off at the top.
Right.
When you consider federal, state, local taxes. So I'll give him that. Almost half of that is gone from the get-go.
If you can't figure out how to make your family right with, let's just say round number, $50 million.
Yeah, 50 mil.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to make your great grandkids good. It should push. I mean, the way I would work, it would.
That would be generational wealth for most of us.
Yes, and he's saying it's impossible to get generational wealth with a $100 million contract over 5 years. You're giving 5 years now. Granted, your body is getting beat the fuck up, and you're doing hard work. I get it, and I will give you that. A, you have to show up to practice. B, you have to not be in jail, and actually show up and do your fucking job. 17 weeks out of the year, plus your extra couple weeks for during the summer for OTAs and everything else. But the fact that he said, like, I can't make $100 million as generational wealth, fuck you, dude. Fuck you, and fuck all of the professional athletes. And we've had professional athletes on this podcast. And I just find it astounding. And what do you say? Flaunt? Like, I got my money to flaunt.
You got to have money to flaunt. So I guess what you got to have a grill. You got to have
no, you don't. You don't have to.
Was that a picture of him like sitting in like on the front of a Pantera or something like that?
Something like that.
Some car that costs $250,000.
A car that you and I will never even sniff.
Car that costs more than my house.
We would never even sniff that car. But these fucking idiots. And Dan sent me that, and I started laughing when I watched it because I was like,
but I have said for a long time now that professional athletes do not live in the same world that the rest of us live in.
No, they absolutely
don't. They absolutely don't. And
they inherit. They live in a different space. And God bless them. I mean, if it was me, I'd be grabbing for all the money I could possibly grab.
So the only thing
I think that I would be able to maintain some sense of reality.
So I think that NIL is ruining college sports, but I will say that one good thing about it, it's given the really good players that are probably going to the NFL, they're getting a couple $1 million before they even go. So they're getting a taste of it. So they probably can make their mistakes and blow their couple million while they're in college. Then maybe I'm anti-NIL, but I think this could be a benefit. By the time they get to the NFL and they sign a big contract, they've already went through a couple million, like, man, I ain't doing that again. So I think there may be some benefit to the NIL. Other than that, I think NIL's ruined college sports.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I think you got a good point there. I think the NIL came in, it wasn't regulated really in any serious way. And it's I've had a lot of people who are involved with college sports just tell me they just refer to it as the wild west right now.
It is. It 100% is. Yeah.
So does Lane Kiffin come down there and just start writing checks to buff up LSU, or how does that?
I'm not a Lane Kiffin guy. I think he's
he's your guy.
He's our guy now, but I just I don't have respect for a man that did that to his players.
Yeah, that was kind of dirty.
He fucked him. He straight up. No, it wasn't dirty.
They had a chance, dude. They have a chance to win a national championship, and you leave these boys
taking coaches and potentially players.
He took coaches with him.
He took the whole offensive staff, Dan. He took every fucking offensive staff.
And some players are allowed to go with him because they signed.
So they're not going to play. They're not going to play in the games off, for God's sake.
I don't know. I have not seen any players that are leaving yet. Exactly, confident, but I can't prove it here right now. I'll look at it tonight, but
I think
they're allowed to go.
All right.
I think they're going, but I think the players are going to play. But he told the coaches, if y'all didn't see this, I'm sure he did. He told the coaches, if you're not on the plane Sunday to go to this press conference, you don't have a spot with me. So they left their fucking team, dude. They have a chance. To me, if you get in that top 12, everybody has a chance.
Sure.
An SEC team definitely has a chance. So you're going to maybe go win a national championship at LSU when you could win one this year with the players that you brought in. He was a 5-year coach, all right? So all of these are his players. So he recruited these guys. He should have a bond with them. That just shows, man, that's why people don't really care about sports anymore because of that. and the betting problems.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Ole Miss wasn't going to win. The Buckeyes got it.
All right. You got a chance.
You have a chance.
How do you bail on that though?
I think A&M's got a chance.
He is no better than fucking Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly's a big fucking bitch.
Trust me, I'm not a Brian Kelly fan.
Brian Kelly's a bitch. He was a bitch at UC. He was a bitch at Notre Dame, and he was a bitch at LSU.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, I got a
$53 million to the good, which, as we know, doesn't really go as far as.
Yeah.
Tell you what kind of guy. Let me tell you what kind of guy.
I can't make that last.
Hey man, you got to flaunt a little bit.
Let me tell you what kind of guy Brian Kelly is. So I have a really good friend of mine who works for the Dolphins. I'm not going to say his position, but he's pretty high up in the Dolphins. Good friend of mine. And he told me there's a player there that went to Notre Dame, played for Brian Kelly. And my friend is a big Notre Dame fan. So he goes up to him and says, hey, man, how was it playing for Coach Kelly? He said, I don't know, dude. I never had a conversation with him. He said, I played there 4 years. I had one conversation with him. That was when he was recruiting me. He said, I never met him after that.
How about that?
Yeah.
That sucks.
It's a business. It's a business. They don't give a fuck. They want you in there. And
the leadership, Jason, leadership.
I get it.
Business, but leadership, no matter at what level, you should know your people, man. And that says what kind of guy he is. And that's.
But they said, and I'm a huge Ohio State fan. They said the same thing about Urban. Urban would come recruit you.
I heard that too. I heard that from a coach.
And then beat your ass. Like he never fucking met you, make you run in the fucking cold and the rain.
I wouldn't even know your name.
And make you quit. Or try to make you quit.
Well, that's what, because he didn't
give a shit.
The thought around here is that Ohio State is so big and has so much money, they can recruit players away from other teams because they don't want to play against them. And then once they get into the Ohio State system, the system, even though they're never going to see playing time, they just chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah.
I read something.
I know a lot of athletes that kind of went through that.
And especially in the SEC, I mean, the Big Ten is big, but the SEC especially, they chew you up and spit you out. But not a sports show, but it's funny. Like,
it's
how this Lane Kiffin shit went down. I don't know if you saw the video of all the people at Ole Miss at the airport, him getting on throwing middle fingers like, fuck you, get the fuck out.
He's getting on the Gulf Stream. Yeah. See you later. See ya.
I'm going to be going for Florida because I like John Summerall. He head coach of Tulane. I'm going to be rooting for him.
That's a big fucking move. That's a big move from Tulane to Florida. Holy shit.
The last one was at the same size school. He was at UL, Billy Napier.
Yeah.
He came in right after the coach that screwed my son over that was recruiting him. And he was supposed to be the next big thing. And yeah. So I hope Summerall seems like a good guy. I hope he does better.
I think it was cool. I think it's cool, like watching him. He brought his family with him. Yeah, and they all got off the jet.
They say he's
I hear he's a 4-year-old kid.
How about that?
I think it was pretty cool. But
I hear he's a good guy.
James, we appreciate you.
It was fun, brother.
Man, I'm so happy to be back with y'all. Man, it was great. Anytime.
Absolutely. We'll everybody, we'll figure out when Pappas is back, if he's out of the doghouse, if he showed up on time to the airport.
Tell your beautiful wife I said hey.
I sure will.
James?
The one that I saw at your wedding. She was
Oh,
James.
awesome. Yeah.
James. I thought you were talking about Pappas.
I sure will.
Yeah, James's wife. Yeah.
Y'all
awesome.
take care.
She is awesome.
Hey, thanks, brother. We appreciate you. Everybody, we'll let you know when we're coming back. I'll let you know in the next day or two when we're coming back live. And you guys have a good week, and we'll see you. We appreciate you tuning in.
It was like a joint podcast right there.
That's right.